Daniel Dubois was labelled a quitter after he took the knee in the first Oleksandr Usyk fight. Leading up to the rematch with Usyk, Daniel Dubois has been speaking to the media, and according to Daniel Dubois, he's a changed man. Daniel Dubois claims he's not the same fighter that fought Usyk the first time. Daniel Dubois' trainer, Don Charles, has also doubled down to say that Daniel Dubois is a totally different fighter mentally and is not the same fighter that faced Oleksandr Usyk in Poland. So my question for you guys is Daniel Dubois a changed fighter, or is Daniel Dubois the same fighter that gave up on himself? You see, the problem with Daniel Dubois is when things get harder and the pressure is on in fights, he tends to feel sorry for himself and he gives up. This happened in the Joe Joyce fight when Dubois landed a number of hard right hands on Joyce, which did not dent Joe Joyce. Joyce started to get his own jab going, and Daniel Dubois did not know what to do and therefore took the knee and gave up. Now, to determine whether Daniel Dubois is a changed fighter to the fighter that fought Oleksandr Usyk some years ago, we have to find out if Daniel Dubois has dealt with similar adversities which he had to overcome in the first Usyk fight. When we look at the fight with Jerome Miller, yes, Jerome Miller was massive. He came forward all night, but Jerome Miller was there to be hit. Jerome Miller cannot be missed. Jerome Miller on the night was a punching bag on legs, and Daniel Dubois was able to tag Jerome Miller every time in that fight. Jerome Miller did not pose any threat to Daniel Dubois. Although he was coming forward, he was making Dubois work. But of course, at this level, you'd expect Daniel Dubois to have the stamina and the condition to match someone like Jerome Miller. If you look at the Filip Hrgović fight, yes, Filip Hrgović tested Dubois' chin in the first 3-4 rounds where Filip Hrgović landed a number of hard right hands. And Dubois, to his credit, did take those right hands. But at the same time, Daniel Dubois was also landing his own right hands and having success in that fight. So that showed that ultimately Daniel Dubois was able to overcome Filip Hrgović, as he then gave up in that fight and the referee stopped the fight on cuts. Now, if we look at the Anthony Joshua fight, in this fight, Daniel Dubois did not really have to overcome any challenges because Daniel Dubois landed a big overhand right, which put Anthony Joshua in all sorts of trouble. Joshua's legs were gone. Joshua did not mount any attack. Joshua was on a retreat all night, and Daniel Dubois basically had his way with Anthony Joshua, hitting him with right hands, left hook, and really dominating that fight until round 5, where Anthony Joshua landed a right hand down the pipe, which Daniel Dubois retreated back into his corner. But ultimately, Joshua was too weak to test Dubois' resolve and his resilience and his chin, that Daniel Dubois then was able to finish Anthony Joshua. So as you can see, none of those fights after the fight with Oleksandr Usyk showed that Daniel Dubois has dealt with any adversity as close to what he had to deal with when it comes to Oleksandr Usyk. You see, the thing about fighting Usyk is there is so much that happened in the ring that it cannot be compared to any other fighter. With Usyk is the footwork, is the head movement, is the ring IQ, is the ring generalship, is the hand placement, is the trickery, is the jab that comes from weird angles, is the left hook that lands from different angles, which makes it really difficult for fighters to cope. But one thing that makes Usyk a standout fighter is the fact that Usyk ups the intensity that he fights at every single round. So the intensity that Usyk will be fighting in round 5, for example, is not the same intensity in round 7. By round 7, Usyk has upped the intensity, and that is where fighters find it very hard to cope and to be in the ring and to compete with Usyk at the same time. So Daniel Dubois has not fought any fighter at the level of Oleksandr Usyk since he lost to Usyk in the first fight. And so to say for certain that Daniel Dubois is a changed man or the same fighter that tends to give up on himself is yet to be determined in the rematch versus Usyk, because this fight will show us whether Daniel Dubois has really changed or he's still the same fighter. What do you think? Do you think Daniel Dubois has changed? Do you think Daniel Dubois will still quit when things get harder, when the pressure is on, when Usyk is making Dubois miss and making Dubois pay? Get in the comment section and let me know what you think about it. My name is Bright. This is the Bright Show Podcast Boxing. If you enjoy boxing content, then please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments in the section below. I'll see you guys on the next one.